If you struggle with emotional eating, you're aware that there's only a part of you that wants to emotionally eat. You're also aware that there are other parts of you that really doesn't want to turn to food to cope with uncomfortable feelings. In this video, together, we'll explore the part of you that wants to emotionally eat and how you can work with it to make different choices. Before we dive in, I want to make absolutely clear that there's no judgment around the act of turning to food to meet a need. This is a very human and natural thing to do. You deserve compassion and not criticism. Believe it or not, beating yourself up for meeting your needs in the only way that you know how in the moment is not going to lead to success. In fact, it will surely lead to more of the same behavior. So as we start our exploration, I want to invite you to think back to the last time you had an emotional eating experience. Maybe it was last month or 10 minutes ago. Think about what was happening for you in the period of time before that experience. What part of you turned to food? Was it a part that wanted safety, or you might say to feel okay? Was it a part of you that wanted to feel joy? Was it a part of you that wanted to experience pleasure? Was it a part of you that wanted to be connected to something? Was it a part of you that just wanted to shed the rules for a moment? The parts that lead you to food are not bad parts of you. They're parts expressing your needs. These parts are alerting you to the things that you want and need in life. Right now, this life need may be satisfied through food, and that's okay. It does bring a little bit of relief, but it doesn't have to stay this way. So let's explore this a little further. Take my client Justine, for example. Justine often feels like she turns to food to satisfy the part of her that wants to have the experience of excitement. Between work and obligations, she doesn't feel like she has the time or energy to figure out what would bring excitement to her life. She says, "It's been so long since I had any excitement in my life, I don't even know what it would look like." Now, let's just imagine for a minute that we could measure Justine's level of need for the excitement with a special tool, okay? Maybe we'd hold this measuring device up to her heart and we'd get a reading of a level, say, 8, okay? So Justine's need for excitement right now is at a level 8. When she turns to food to meet this need, it satisfies it. It goes down, maybe to a level of 5 or something like that. So while the food doesn't really give a lot of excitement, since she doesn't know what else to do, she takes the food because going to a level 5 is a lot better than a level 8. But if we can find something that brings Justine excitement at a level of, say, it takes her need down to a level of, say, 3 or 2, and it doesn't have the negative consequences of food, then it's a win-win situation all around. Let's look at another example. The part of Patricia that emotionally eats is the part of her that needs relief from stress. Whenever she feels stressed or overwhelmed, she immediately thinks about what she can eat, how she can find it quickly. Feeling stressed is actually very disruptive, and her survival system wants to help her feel less stressed as quickly as possible. Her survival system knows that if her stress is at a level 7, food can help get it down to a more manageable 4, right? So it makes sense that Patricia turns to food to help her feel less stressed. It kind of works. Now, the part of Sam that emotionally eats is the part that feels he isn't enough, right? He doesn't make enough money. He isn't smart enough. He isn't interesting enough. He just doesn't feel enough. A few months ago, I asked him to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how not enough he felt before he ate, and then again after he ate. And even though he thought this was a bit strange, he was willing to give it a try. I love Sam. And here's what he told me. He said, "Most of the time, I felt my not enoughness was around an 8 or a 9. Wow. He also said rating it forced him to realize how painful it was to feel not enough. And as a matter of fact, he said it was really hard for him to stop long enough to check in and rate that feeling. He said, I wanted to go straight to the food without even acknowledging the pain of not feeling enough. And this is really common. As humans, we want to get out of pain as quickly as we can. And when we have something that kind of works, food, of course we're going to take that route. But just because your behavior makes sense It does not mean that you have to continue to do it. And I really hope you can hear that, because I've worked with thousands of people who have been able to change their relationship with food by understanding the part of them that needs to eat in those uncomfortable moments. The parts of you that have needs must be tended to, right? They have to be heard and understood. And when they are, they'll share with you what they're actually needing, and you can learn to provide it for them. So, for example, Justine, the part of her that wanted excitement, was much happier when Justine started planning regular weekly outings for herself. Patricia's part that turned to food to deal with stress was much calmer after Patricia learned somatic experiencing techniques that calmed her system way better than food could. Sam's not enough part was willing to stop turning to food when Sam and I worked on the underlying beliefs and past wounds that told him he wasn't enough. So you see, emotional eating is never actually about the food. It's about the needs. It's always about the needs. If you take care of the needs, emotional eating takes care of itself. Now, I've created a series of free resources for you to understand the 3 keys to overcoming emotional eating, and you can download those resources below this video. And if you take away anything from this video, I really hope it's this. You are not turning to food because you're a glutton, because you lack willpower, or because there's something wrong with you. You're turning to food to meet a need. Meet the need better than the food, and food returns to its natural and nourishing role in your life. Now, I hope you'll download the free resources, and if you heard something useful in this video, please hit the like and subscribe button so that I can get more content into your hands and into the hands of others who need emotional eating support. So thanks for spending time with me, and I really look forward to your questions and your comments.